another episode of Australian Migration for you. Today we have the registered migration agent Ashad Pereira to talk about one of the most popular visa called business visa. How are you doing, Ashad, today?
I'm good, Deshani. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, business visas is one of the most popular way to obtain PR in Australia. So, what are the business and investment streams available these days?
Deshani, in business visas, there are different streams. So, business innovation visa, then the business investor visa, premium investor visa, then you call a business talent visa. There are different streams. But I think most popular visa is a business innovation visa.
Okay, Ashad. So today we will talk about the business innovation visa, which is the most popular stream. So what are the basic requirements to qualify for a business visa?
Okay, so business, as I said, so there are different streams, and the business innovation visa is the most popular visa. Now, most of the businessmen come to Australia under this visa. To qualify for this visa, so you have to be under 55 years of age, and you have to be running a business back at home of a $500,000 turnover. So you have to have a $500,000 turnover they consider 4 years. So in the last 4 years, at least in 2 years, you have to have a $500,000 turnover. Then you have to have assets over 800,000 Australian dollars. So this can be your assets or your wife's assets, but together you have to have a $800,000 turnover. You also have to be running a business and managing a business at least for a minimum period of 2 years to qualify for this visa. This visa works on a point test, just like a skill visa. So you have to have a minimum 65 points to qualify for this visa.
Okay, so basically there are 3 main requirements to qualify for these business visas.
Yeah, correct. So your age and your turnover of the business and the assets that you have.
Okay, well, so we know that the English requirement is one of the main requirement to migrate to Australia. So are there any for those applicants, do they need to obtain a specific English requirement?
So good thing with business visa is you really need a very low level of English. So you need what is called functional English. But even if you don't, a lot of business men or business people are very busy, so they don't have time to go and sit for an English test. So even if you don't have the English requirement, you can actually pay. There is a certain amount that you can pay, and then you qualify for the visa. So you don't necessarily need to have English. Even without English, by paying a certain amount, you can qualify for the visa.
Okay, Ashad, I think that will be a good news for all the applicants, those who need to apply for business visas, because most of the applicants struggle with English most of the times. Okay, moving to our next questions. Ashad, what are the advantages or benefits of business visas?
So business visa actually will enable you to get PR. So permanent business visas is a process to get PR, and then once you come to Australia, your kids' school education is free once you are in Australia, and then you need to achieve a certain criteria. Once you achieve certain criteria and run the business, you can get your permanent residency. Mainly people look at, because if you have 2-3 kids, they can go to Australian schools and get the Australian education without any money being paid like international students. So that's a very good advantage of having a business visa. We also think because of the COVID-19, this government is likely to introduce certain incentives. They are not yet done, but it's likely to introduce some incentives to apply for the business visa. So it's a good opportunity to get ready to apply for a business visa.
Okay, as in Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan education, so the applicants will be eligible to free education in Australia as well.
Yes, correct. So it's a free primary and secondary education they can get once you get a 188 business visa.
Okay, that's another good news for the applicants. So finally, how do you get PR from business visa? I think you previously you explained a little about obtaining PR through business visas. Can you add more details to this point, Ashad?
Yes, now this 188 business visa is actually given for 4 years. Now during these 4 years, they expect you to come to Australia and do a business for 2 years. And so once we do a business and manage a business for 2 years, you have to, in the last year of those 2 years, say suppose you start a business, you run the business for 2 years, but before you submit the application, they look at 1 year back, and during that 1 year, you have to achieve a minimum of $300,000 turnover in the business. So $300,000 worth of sales you have to achieve in the last 1 year, and then you have to recruit at least 2 Australian permanent residents or Australian citizens for the last 1 year. So there is something called 2 out of the 3 criteria. So that is basically you either employ 2 people who are Australian permanent residents or citizens, or you invest $200,000 into the Australian business, or you can also have like a buy personal assets, like you can buy a house or you can buy another business which is worth $600,000. So they look at those individual investments that you make. So if you have made, say for example, if you have bought a house of 600,000, then you don't need to like invest the minimum amount of 200,000. So then you can have a house and the 2 employees, then you qualify to get a permanent residency. So main thing is to run a business for 2 years and achieve those criteria, then you can apply for the permanent residency.
All right. Thank you for explaining and giving us the details about business visas. So we hope that the program will help to get a good understanding about business visa. If you would like to talk to Ashad Pereira, you can contact him through the number 0388 02 888 So we will join soon with another episode of Australian migration for you. Until then, thank you and wish you a very good day. Thank you.
Vishvavahini.